Yeah, the construction industry is has a massive footprint in terms of environmental damage, carbon emissions, kind of a huge use of virgin materials all over the world. So I like to hope that kind of in my career I can kind of make a positive change through the choices I make, and kind of through helping kind of different clients with their choices. I feel like I'm at the beginning of my career, so it's maybe I don't have as much influence as I want to, but hopefully I kind of can learn more as well. I'm trying to kind of learn from other kind of groups, and there are definitely architects doing amazing work, and yeah, trying to learn from them.
And in what ways are you being hands-on with your clothes?
So about 4 years ago, I made a kind of pledge to stop buying new clothes, and so that involved charity shopping, and that can kind of limit you a bit, but also I think in some ways it's more creative in terms of what choice you have. And then also a couple of years ago I kind of learnt to sew from scratch, so kind of learning the sewing pattern, but also kind of getting in through well, for example, this was a kind of jumpsuit from a charity shop, and it was made for someone with a huge torso, but I also think I'm not sure if this would have fit anyone really, which is sometimes the thing about fast fashion. It's made quite quickly and doesn't really suit anyone's shape. So yeah, I kind of cut it into a jacket and trousers, and made the trousers fit my waist better. So yeah, it's kind of like taking clothes and making them suit you better, and yeah, fit your lifestyle a bit better as well.
So is that your motivation for taking the pledge, or was there some other reason?
Definitely kind of climate change and lowering my consumption, and I also think kind of limitations can actually improve your creativity sometimes, and yeah, there's something quite, I don't know, I remember kind of going into H&M and trying on 3 tops in different sizes, and none of them looking good, even though there was five different sizes of the same top, and it kind of, and then you come out and everyone looks the same. So yeah, I find it kind of finding my own style, but also I like having different styles every day and being able to kind of mix that up, and also I really like vintage clothes as well, so, and yeah, looking after old clothes, and yeah, and styles that don't go out of fashion as well, but kind of blending it up and into your own style.
That's great, and I call that indie style,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
for individual and
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
on you. And are many of your friends doing this as well?
Yeah, I do have a few friends that are into definitely kind of very eco-conscious. A lot of them are architects, and maybe that's, yeah, the kind of being part of this industry, you learn more about it. One of my friends, she's into sewing, but she also buys new, but she's very particular about what she buys, and would rather spend more than obviously kind of spend less on fast fashion. And yeah, I think in general my friends are kind of, yeah, like to think about where they're buying things from.
Just thinking about your making and your upcycling, because that's really what you're doing, aren't you? Upcycling things. So would all of your clothes in your wardrobe now kind of have your energy in them? You know, have you tampered with them?
Yeah. No, I'd hope they have my kind of style in them, and a lot of things I kind of wear till they're completely worn out and past the point of being able to be mended. So that's also, and it's sometimes kind of quite sad when I have to. I probably wear them past the point of I should have thrown them out. I had these pair of trainers with holes in them, and they weren't quite waterproof anymore. But even kind of throwing those out is kind of sad. But it's I have used them to their full potential. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet. But yeah, the clothes in my wardrobe, I think, yeah, they're all me, and they're all, yeah, they're kind of, I've kind of thought about them, and they're quite, yeah, I think that's, yeah.
And so that's obviously good for your social and emotional well-being. You know, you're feeling good about your wardrobe now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, clothes fitting well is really important, or fitting the way you want them to. which I think, yeah, because like fast fashion and like these fashion trends, yeah, they kind of always tend to like a particular like body shape, like, and it seems to also change every year, and I think like right now I think low jeans are coming back into style, like a la the 90s, when only people like Keira Knightley could pull them off, and it's just it's not a good, and it's like I remember growing up as a teenager and being like, oh, my bum's too big, and this is too, but like my boobs are too small, and this is, and but I think it's like clothes and like the fast fashion can really play into that, and it's not, yeah, really not good for mental health, and especially of like teenagers.
That's actually a really good point too. So having independence is actually a positive thing for well-being.
Yeah, and learning to sew and learning to make clothes fit you rather than you having to fit the clothes is like really, I think really important.
And what about the process itself? Do you actually enjoy being hands-on?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really like really relaxing, and like I definitely think I'm still like a beginner sewer, so there's like so much to learn, which I also really like, and learning new things. And also I think because it's like my own clothes, it's like, well, if I mess up, one, no one's really going to notice, but also like it's not a big deal. It's just for me. It's the one thing that's like solely for me, which is really nice.
And tell us about this thing you're mending here. This is from your mum.
Yeah, so this is a jacket from the 80s that was my mum's, and she kind of handed it down to me. And I've worn it so much that the kind of cuffs are kind of wearing out a bit. So I was taught this kind of blanket stitch, which I'm doing to kind of repair the cuffs, but also add a bit of colour. And I think it looks, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And hopefully it will kind of stop it wearing out a bit more, so I can wear it even longer.
So they've got personality then, haven't they?
Yeah.
And do you feel being hands-on helps reduce textile waste?
I think so, yeah. I think it makes you more conscious of like the fabrics you're kind of choosing and how things are made, and also actually like the time that goes into making things, and thinking of all these people all these fast fashion workers that are kind of spending out, or like more like how can a t-shirt cost £5 when like the amount of work that has gone into it, like who's being shortchanged here. That's definitely like making my own clothes made me a lot more conscious of that imbalance in fast fashion.
And what about from a societal point of view, what more do you think can be done to change the way we engage with our clothes?
I think making and just, I suppose, just kind of consuming less, and that comes from getting pieces either in the first place that are kind of better made, but also fit you better, and I also don't think that has to mean it's like boring. I think there are sometimes like capsule wardrobes, it's like this capsule wardrobe with some neutrals, but like getting pieces that will be with you, and that you truly kind of enjoy and can wear and can use. I hope that answers the question.
Are there any other aspects of your wardrobe that you'd like to talk about?
I have some like vintage pieces which are nice. I kind of do like I do have quite a lot of clothes from the 80s, and then I've also kind of got into 60s style recently, which is cool. And then I actually found like a dress in the charity shop, which I think is from the 60s, so that was quite exciting. And that was like a homemade dress as well, which was great. And the kind of the waist was like, I think it was like this kind of cotton thread that was kind of being pulled, and so I mended it as well. And sewing that was great. Like thinking of like 50 years ago someone was making this dress, and now I'm like fixing this dress, and I don't know, it's just something I found really cool.
That's lovely. And now, just to finish off, can you talk about your special event wear? Because this is kind of like a bit of a deal, isn't it? It's where people spend a lot of money. How do you deal with that?
So I do have a wedding coming up in 3 weeks' time. So I am making something for that. So I'm making these like 70s flowy trousers in this like wrap top, and it's like from a pattern from the 70s. But as a backup, just in case, because sometimes you make something, it doesn't end up quite how you pictured it. So as a backup, I bought a dress from a charity shop, which is this like pink dress. So yeah, those are my options. So a make and a second-hand buy.